Hey everybody, Dean here from the Feely Real Estate Group today at eXp Realty, and today we are going to talk about some September stats, what happened in the market in September, and where are things going. I'll also be covering a few more things on the overall market of what's been happening over the past few years, and also showing off some of our newest exclusive listings that I'll be emailing below, just so you guys can see what we're getting, what's coming up. We wanted to try some new things. We're prepping properties a little bit more earlier now, and getting them ready and all that. So we wanted to share all that with you. But first things first, I'll go into the stats. So basically, where are we at now? So right now, in terms of inventory, we've been above the last few years. Again, always that off year in 2020 during COVID. But right now we're sitting just a little bit of about just a hair above what was happening in 2019, and we're quite a bit above 2022. So inventory's been going up. Obviously, the prices did come down a little bit in August, but people did see a lot of market activity this year in terms of the months from March until about June, July ish. August was really the only down month. So right now we're sitting in terms of inventory, we're floating about 700 new listings per week. We saw it even hit the just close to 800. We're floating around 790 or so the last few weeks. But yeah, so inventory is coming up. There are some pockets like Orleans right now is a big pocket, as well as Richmond. We're not seeing things sell quite as fast in those areas, and I'll cover that in the next little bit. But next, we'll go down to the sold property. So obviously, here's the answer to all those inventory issues. So basically, we're getting high inventory, but the sales levels are very, very low. We're copying pretty much everything that happened up until March. It was rising, and now we're on our way down. We were a little bit above the last year's trend, but right now we're intersecting. We're floating above a little bit above 2022, but we're nowhere near 2021 or 2019 at the same time in the year. Typically, September does get a little bit better compared to August and July, when they're typically a little bit slower months because of the summer holidays. But right now, we're seeing it just kind of stagnant. There hasn't been that much buyer activity. Obviously, rates have a big play in that. The Bank of Canada did hold the rates a little bit last time, so we'll see what happens. There's another one coming up soon, so we'll see how it happens. What happens to the end, towards the end of the year? But as we head down to the residential average sale price, we're pretty much sitting around the same number for the past few months here. So it's been up and down a little bit. We dipped here in August, but the last couple of weeks we've been kind of coming up. Similar numbers to 2021, 2022, and 2023, all around the same area. And we're dipping a little bit over the past week. I think we're going to go down a little bit further, but I think we'll probably towards the end of the year we'll be sitting around the same numbers as 2022, and that'll be kind of the area that we'll be in, and then the listings will disappear. And same as always, January will be slower, but with less listings mean less opportunities for buyers, and might be a spot for some sellers to capitalize on getting their home sold a little quicker. Then for residential and condo, we're looking at, again, similar numbers floating around this range where, what is that overall house price? That's about 625, 600. Yeah. So we're about 605 right now over the last week. And again, similar numbers copying basically what's happening in the last couple of years. We haven't been able to touch anywhere close to the 2020 numbers or anywhere near 2019. So that's where we are in terms of market stats. If we, I'm going to go through some other stats now. So this graph here shows your price increase since January of 2005. So basically, average price point in January of 2005 was what were we looking at here? Just under 250,000. Then we saw the growth. Here's 2008. So this is your 2008 kind of market crash, right? So January of 2008, we were sitting around 270 average price point ish. And then we went, October is when it started crashing down. And then in 2009, July is when we hit rock bottom. April 2010, we were bouncing back. We had some highs and lows, and then we just kept kind of climbing. You see, in 2015 is kind of when things got stagnant. So that's when we had a lot of inventory. These were the days when you could walk into a new build and or a new home builder and just you know negotiate something. You could pick any lot you wanted, and those were the times really. But as you saw, 2015, 2014, 2015, those were the real buyer markets. And then as we started heading towards the 2017, 2018, that's when you started the bigger spikes coming. And then 2019, we're headed upwards with some highs and lows, but overall we're trending up. And then 2020 is when it surged, and then 2021 we surged some more. We had a dip in 2021 during the summer, and then 2022 we started surging again. Massive dip when the rates hit. Um, Sorry, no, this was the summer, and then we had a massive surge, and then we had a massive drop when the rates hit, and here we are today. We're kind of just building our way back up. So it looks like to me, we're going to be moving in a certain direction as we go, but we're going to probably see more highs and lows as the years go on. But this is kind of what you're looking at since 2005. And this one here, this is so if we look back to 2019, this is your average price of homes sold. So we have all the stats here. So basically, in January of 2019, we were at an average of 367,000. A year later, we're at 429. A year after that, we're 544. A year after that, we're 646. This year, we were as low as 571. The highest we got this year was we reached 637 and 636 in April and May. So those were really big peaks. Last year, it was kind of February and March where it started peaking, and then we were on our way down right after March. And that's when the rates were kind of starting to fluctuate. But yeah, you can see even here, like November and December, you can see the averages, the highs, the lows. So the highest ever was 716. This year the highest ever was 637. The average is 614. If you look at the averages, it's actually a little bit more realistic. So we went from 406 to 480 to 593 to 633, and then to 614 this year was our average. Our low this year was 571, and our lowest last year was 560. So just to give you kind of a heads up of what's been happening over the last few years. Now this guy here, this is the graph for what's happening in the last year. So basically, from July, we were going down. We hit rock bottom, and then over the winter, when the listings disappeared, we surged up. And right now, it looks like we're on our way down towards the winter again. So again, every year there's highs and lows. It's really, you can't really time the market. It's just when is the time you need to buy and when you need to sell. That's what's the most important part, and finding a way to navigate through that as you go through the year. Now this one here, this is more of a prediction chart. So kind of looking at the last 3 years. So 2023 is the black, 2022 is last year, 2021 is the year before. Now we basically went two ways. So in 2022, at this point, we started dropping. In 2021, at this point, we started going up. We started surging a bit because the market got a little bit more active during that time. So right now, we're at that point. What's going to happen over the next few months? Hard to say. I think it'll be interesting to see what the September stats look like once we get this number. So we should be getting those in the next week or so, and I'll update everybody on that. But basically, I think over the next few months we'll be getting a little lower. I don't know, are we going to go much lower? Tough question to answer, but I think we'll be in a good position to understand that down the road. One little sneak peek I wanted to share with everybody. We actually had an investor client of ours just share some new renovation projects that he had done. So this is a property that we have in the Preston area that one of our investor clients, as I mentioned, had done a full gut job. So down to the studs. So basically front porch and the whole building was painted, redone. Then the inside, you can see some nice, some old school kitchen action there. So this property is all 150 square feet, and he renovated the whole thing top to bottom and turned it into a 150 square foot Airbnb with a full bed, a kitchen, a full washroom with a shower. And I'll show you that down here, like newest additions. So very, very nice modern style. So he did a lot of European style buildings. So the shower, then you got the toilet and the sink with a full vanity, little closet on the other side of the sink. And yeah, so I wanted to share that. I'll be posting a video of that as well on my Instagram. So if anybody's curious on seeing what the project looked like, and if you're thinking of doing projects similar to that, or just have questions on how to get about doing some rentals similar to this one was pretty cost effective, and the property is already cash flowing, and he's showing me the Airbnb bookings. They are booked solid. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, or any investment strategies that you're looking for, give me a shout. Feel free to reach out. I can set you up, and we can look at what your needs are and all that. But in the meantime, loved sharing this with you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll give you an update once we get some more stats. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.